Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees who have assembled for this third session of our Vaishnava character series. In the previous session, we discussed about the principle of gratitude, how gratitude is the foundational quality of Vaishnavas, and even basic human interactions are also nourished when there is a principle of gratitude. So today we'll continue with our discussion on the gratitude. We have seen several examples in the last week about Sudama and Dhruva Maharaj, all of them. So we also saw slightly this conception or this mood of entitlement. Whenever there is a mood of entitlement, I deserve this, I need this, then we cannot be grateful to others, okay, for what we receive. So especially in bhakti, being grateful for whatever blessings that we receive, whatever opportunities to serve that we receive is very, very important. So undue expectations will only lead to frustrations. But if we can adjust our expectations nicely and be grateful for what we receive by the Lord's grace, then we can live a very smooth spiritual life, okay, in the midst of a lot of chaos. Okay, so let's continue. We have discussed the example of Dhruva, right? So Dhruva was given the, we haven't, okay. So Dhruva was a 5-year-old child and he was insulted by mother Suruchi, and as you know, and he became very disappointed and he ran towards his mother Suniti. And Suniti said, Tameva vatsashraya bhritya vatsalam mumukshubhirmrigya padabja padhatim Ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manasyavasthapya bhajasva purusham Tameva vatsa ashraya bhritya vatsalam. My dear son, please take shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is Bhritya Vatsala, who is very affectionate towards all his servants. So your father, your grandfather Manu has taken shelter of the Lord. Your great-grandfather Brahma has taken shelter of the Lord, and they become successful in their endeavors. For you also to fulfill any desire that you have, you must take shelter of Krishna. So she gave that guidance. And Dhruva Maharaj, all the 5-year-old child, he became very determined to attain a position which is superior to even his great-grandfather Brahma. And he just left home and he went to the forest. And he performed tapasya for 6 months in Vrindavan with the instruction of Narada Muni. Then he attained the darshan of the Lord within 6 months. Then the Lord said, my dear Dhruva, you can rule this planet for 36,000 years. After that, you will come to Dhruvaloka. Okay, I'm just fast forwarding the long story. But I'll just come to the main point of gratitude. So Dhruva ruled the earth for 36,000 years. And he came to Badarik Ashram after retirement. and he was performing his bhakti. Then one day, the Vaikuntha airplane came to take Dhruva to Vaikuntha, to Dhruvaloka. Then Dhruva gratefully boarded the airplane after offering obeisances. He felt so overwhelmed by this opportunity to go to Vaikuntha, and he offered obeisances to the airplane, offered obeisances to all the sages of Badrikashram, circumambulated this Vaikuntha airplane and boarded it. So as soon as he boarded it, he felt, I should not go to Vaikuntha now. Let me jump off this airplane. Why? Because he just remembered his mother, Suniti. He was thinking, how can I go to Vaikuntha without my mother? Sacha swarlokamaroksham sunitim jananim dharvaha anvasmarad agam hitva dinam yasye trivishtapam. So he was thinking, it was my mother who inspired me to take shelter of the Lord 36,000 years back. Without her inspiration, without her instruction, today I would not get this opportunity to go to Vaikuntha, isn't it? So how can I go to Vaikuntha without my mother? I cannot go. I have to take my mother also. He wanted to jump off the airplane. Seeing the anxiety of Dhruva and understanding his mood, Nanda and Sunanda called Dhruva and showed him another Vaikuntha airplane in the outer sky. So another Vaikuntha airplane is taking Mother Suniti to Vaikuntha. Then Dhruva felt comfortable. He felt happy. Now, the lesson here is 36,000 years back, Mother Suniti gave him little inspiration to worship the Lord. She is like Patha Padarshaka Guru, one who shows path to the Supreme Lord. She did that. And Dhruva was so grateful. He did not forget that little favor that she has done 36,000 years back. It was Dhruva who went to the forest. It was Dhruva who did tapasya for 6 months. It was Dhruva who meditated on the Lord with great determination and attained the darshan of the Lord. So all that is his endeavor. But all these endeavors are initially inspired by Mother Suniti's instruction, good advice, isn't it? So he was so grateful. He was extremely grateful for receiving that inspiration from Mother Suniti. So in our devotional service also, we must have received a lot of inspiration from multiple devotees. They can be our seniors, they may be juniors, they may be equals, they may be new people also. Sometimes with great determination, if someone is doing his activity, seeing them, you may intensify your bhakti. They may not be great devotees, but their demeanor, their activities, their mentality could inspire us. So a genuine devotee is one who is grateful for all the inspiration that people around him or her give. So we should be grateful for the inspiration that we receive, and we should never forget it. That is Kritagnata. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling from Shantipur to Vrindavan. Jagannath Puri. On the way, he was accompanied by Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodara, Mukunda. When Nityananda Prabhu and all the other associates of Lord Chaitanya sat with Lord Chaitanya at Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with great humility, he offered obeisances to them and said, my dear friends, I am very grateful to you. Why? The reason is here in this shloka. Tumi saba bandhu mora bandhu kritya kaile, ihani more Jagannatha dekhaile. You all are my dear friends. You have done activities that are meant to be done by devotees, right? Meant to be done by friends. Bandhu kritya haile. So what is that activity you have done? Iha ani more Jagannatha dekhaile. You brought me to Jagannath Puri and showed me Jagannath. Okay. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being grateful to all his associates for showing him Jagannath. We can be grateful for even small favors that we receive from others. But the greatest favor we can receive from anyone on this planet is coming closer to Krishna. Whoever facilitates our coming closer to Krishna is our greatest friend, and we need to be grateful to such a friend, right? So, I am thirsty, someone gave me water. I am grateful to him. I am hungry, someone fed me food. I am grateful to him. I lost my way, and I was asking somebody on the road, okay, I need to go to so-and-so temple, can you please show me the way? And he will say, you go this way, take left, take right. I should be grateful to him. So, gratitude is meant for every small favor that we receive from others. But the greatest favor that we receive from anyone else is to bring us closer to Krishna, to inspire us in bhakti. So they deserve the maximum gratitude. Therefore, our life, spiritual life, should be a life of gratitude towards Guru. Amongst all the devotees who bring us closer to Krishna, Guru takes the prominent role. Guru is the one who connects us to Krishna. So we need to be primarily grateful to Guru, and of course grateful to everyone that have contributed in any small way for our spiritual progress, and even our other social life also. So one day, Pradyumna Mishra went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Mahaprabhu, I want to hear Harikatha. I want to hear about Krishna. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whoever shows interest in hearing Harikatha, he is the most fortunate person. But I don't know Harikatha. I don't know Krishna Katha. All Krishna Katha is known to Ramananda Rai. Please go to Ramananda Rai and hear Harikatha from him. Then Pradyumna Mishra went to Ramananda Rai. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has heard Harikatha, Krishna Katha from Ramananda Rai. So Pradyumna Mishra went to Ramananda Rai, and Ramananda Rai spoke Harikatha to him. Then Pradyumna Mishra profusely thanked Ramananda Rai and came back to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, Mishra kahe Prabhu more kritartha karela, Krishna katha mritarnave more dubaila. My dear Mahaprabhu, more kritartha kaila, you have made me successful and very fortunate. Why? Krishna katha arnave more dubaila. You have immersed me in the ocean of Krishna katha by giving me the contact of Pradyumna Mishra. Sometimes we receive contacts from some devotees. You go to some devotee for some help, and that devotee says, I cannot help, this person can help. Okay, take this contact. You go to that person and he will help you. Okay, so you become grateful to the person who has given contact. So they may not directly do favor to us, but they will direct us to someone who can do favor. Let's be grateful to them also. So in this way, we can cultivate these feelings of gratitude on a regular basis, on a daily basis. I'll give you one small exercise. At the end of the day, whenever you sleep, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., whatever it may be, whenever you sleep, just take out 2 minutes. If possible, 5 minutes. Okay, at least 1 minute. Take out that 1 or 2 minutes to recollect all the favors that you have received on that day and thank the devotees. Right from the morning japa or Mangalarti japa till night dinner or night activity. We have like a long day of whatever, 15, 16, 17 hours, 18 hours. So on that day, who all have helped you in some way. Okay. So just recollect their names, maybe 2, 3 names, 4, 5 names, and then things just thank them at least within. You may not send an SMS to every single person, okay, but at least thank them within, at least recollect the favors that we receive, the help that we received from others. So that way we can cultivate gratitude. And whenever they need some help, you can extend yourself to help them. So this is the way of cultivating this quality, making this quality a part of our system. So Yudhishthira Maharaj says, Yasmannaha sampado rajyam daraha pranaha kulam prajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Yudhishthir Maharaj was sharing with his brothers, the other Pandavas, that whatever sampada means wealth, rajyam, kingdom, dara, wife, prana, life, kulam means dynasty, praja, citizens, and asan sapatna vijayo, victory over enemies. Whatever we had, it's all because of anugraha of Krishna. Lokasya anugrahat. By the anugraha, by the mercy of Krishna, we have what we have. We are what we are. So our primary gratitude is meant to Krishna. So that gratitude, when someone has gratitude in the heart, that indicates humility. You are thinking you are not the doer. When you are grateful to someone for favoring you, for supporting you, for guiding you in some way, you are being humble. So the gratitude quality includes humility also. Or humility includes gratitude also. These two are connected. Fine. So gratitude and humility go together. Now let's add one more quality here, satisfaction. When you're grateful to someone for giving you some favor, some support, some blessing, when you're grateful for what you have, what you are, basically you're being very satisfied at heart. Ungrateful people hanker for more and more. They become more and more greedy for name, fame, prestige, facilities, etc. Okay, opportunities. I'm not speaking about that, I'm not speaking about satisfaction, but there's another element to it. Whatever may be the amount of service that you render to the Lord and Vaishnavas, you are not satisfied. Okay, you are not sufficiently satisfied. You feel like serving more. That's a different thing. That's not dissatisfaction. That is eagerness to serve. Okay, I'm not speaking about that. But I'm speaking about the satisfaction where you feel a sense of contentment, a fulfillment in whatever opportunities to serve that you receive, whatever favors that you receive, whatever support you receive. So that gratitude includes satisfaction. But when you're not grateful for what you have, what you receive, that shows a sense of dissatisfaction. Oh, I'm not satisfied with this person, with the way this in charge is treating me. Because you're not satisfied means you're not grateful also. So dissatisfaction and ingratitude are connected. And gratitude and satisfaction are connected. Right? So one quality, one Vaishnava quality is connected to several other Vaishnava qualities. We have seen the relationship between gratitude and humility and satisfaction. Now let's add one more quality here. That is no craving for credit. We'll discuss on this quality a little more elaborately later, but a person who has gratitude at heart doesn't crave for credit. He doesn't hanker for credit. Okay, I have done this, I should be recognized for this. So now let me tell you one very, very important principle. Please don't forget this till the end of the class or for whole life. And I'm speaking to you so that I don't forget this also. We should be grateful when we receive service from others. Okay? But a higher principle of gratitude is we should be grateful when we receive an opportunity to serve others. You got the difference? Being grateful when you receive services at one level, but being grateful when you get to serve others is on a higher level. So let us try to be grateful for the opportunities to serve others rather than being grateful for receiving service from others. Yes, we have to be grateful when others serve us, others help us in some way, but we should be grateful for an opportunity to help others. Oh, I got to serve you in this way, let me be grateful. When somebody does some service to you, you say thank you. That's gratitude, great. But when you get to serve others, you thank them. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve you. That's a higher principle of gratitude. As we are progressing in bhakti, okay, let me not put it this way, not progressing in bhakti, as we are spending more and more number of years in bhakti, as we are becoming more and more senior in the path, spiritual path, sometimes an inattentive sadhaka could be overwhelmed with a mentality that I should receive service from these people. I have become senior now. I'm sufficiently experienced now. I need more and more assistance. See, for the running of the service, you are getting more resources. That's not the problem. Yes, senior devotees may have 10 assistants. That's great. Okay. And even if you are little handicapped in a physical way, you can accept some assistance. I'm not speaking about that. But the mood of deserving that kind of assistance, deserving service from others, deserving subordination and surrender from others, claiming yourself to be a great senior, that makes the whole spiritual path very unpleasant. These vibes affect others also. Okay, these vibes will definitely, kill or at least affect the inspiration of other devotees around us. So, a devotee who is grateful doesn't hanker for help or support. Not help, support. They're like positive words. Hanker for a position of being served by others. Okay, I need to be served by others. I need to be heard. Whatever I say, they should follow. So that kind of mentality is a symptom of lack of gratitude sometimes. Okay. So Kunti Maharani, this is height of gratitude. She became grateful to the calamities, right? Thank you, Krishna, for giving us more and more calamities. Can you be grateful for receiving a calamity in your life? She says, Vipadaha santu taha shashvat tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yasyat apunar bhavadarshanam. Krishna, you have given us so many calamities in life. When my child Bhima was a small boy, they poisoned me and you protected us. Thank you for that. And when we were put in a house made of lac and they were about to kill us, you protected us. Thank you for that. And my daughter-in-law was being disrobed. You protected her. Thank you for that. So many series of calamities. Vishan Mahagnehe Purushada Darshanat Satsabhaya Vanavasa Krichrataha. So you have so many, we have received so many times your favor when we were in calamities. So calamities are giving us opportunities to connect with you, to receive your protection, to get your darshan. So we are very grateful to all the calamities. Give us more calamities. Getting right. Generally, when we receive some success in our endeavors, we may thank God. Thank God. He made me pass through this. When we receive some difficulty in life, then we cannot thank God. We say, Arey, God is doing injustice. Is Krishna kind upon me? Is Krishna there? Does he exist? Okay. So these are the questions that might come in the minds of average sadhakas, that they see a lack of mercy and a presence of negligence and ignore on the part of Krishna when they encounter difficulties. But grateful devotees are those people who thank Krishna for giving calamities in their lives. Do we have the bandwidth to do so? Can you thank Krishna for giving us more and more difficulties? And can you ask Krishna for more difficulties? Krishna, give me more difficulties, more difficulties. I want to increase my gratitude towards you. Kunti Maharani says, whenever there is a difficulty, we remember you and you come and protect us. That means calamity is giving us an opportunity to see you, to get your darshan. I am grateful to all the calamities. That is increasing our dependence on you. Same thing is in the case of Avanti Brahman, who lost everything. Avanti Brahman lost all his wealth, all his property, all his relatives and followers, and he became grateful to the Lord. My dear Lord, thank you so much for taking away everything from me so that I exclusively become dependent on you. When we have so much opulence materially, we have Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, when we are very comfortable materially, we cannot become desperate spiritually, right? Some devotees are there, they are very comfortable materially, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Externally also, they are great emperors, they have all kinds of comforts, they're comfortable materially, but that doesn't diminish their spiritual inspiration. But for some devotees, material comforts will make them very lethargic in spiritual life. Okay, they may not maintain sufficient inspiration to, depend on Krishna or be prayerful to Krishna or render service to Krishna when they are in the midst of material comforts, right? But when such people are put into a situation where they become more desperate, right? Materially, they become more prayerful towards Krishna. They become more dependent on Krishna. So therefore, we need to be grateful for calamities also. Don't be grateful only for successes. Be grateful for failures also. Krishna, thank you for teaching me this lesson in this failure, in this defeat, in this insult. You may receive insult from someone. Krishna, thank you so much. I am so egoistic, and now my ego is crushed by this insult, and I can be more humble. Let me be grateful to you. So this is the mode of a devotee. And same thing with sickness. When somebody becomes sick, devotee becomes grateful to Krishna. Krishna, thank you for making me sick. So that in such a physically painful situation, I can be more prayerful to you. There are devotees who had some, cancer and many such, diseases. They said, we don't want to exchange our situation with anyone else's situation in this world. We are very fortunate. Because when I'm lying down on the bed with cancer, I'm becoming more and more prayerful to Krishna. I can chant well. Okay. So one day, one devotee was flying in an airplane. They were making announcements generally. You put seat belt, you put this life jacket, and they continue to give a lot of instructions, right? For first, 3-4 minutes in every flight journey. Like those who are little frequent flyers, they may not pay heed to all these instructions. They get bored. They just sleep. or they do something else. They may not pay much attention. Okay. So one day, this air hostesses or the crew members, they made a announcement. There is a lot of turbulence here and the flight might crash at any moment. You please do the needful. Okay. Do the needful in the sense that we'll give you necessary instructions, whatever is there within our capacity, but there is a possibility that we can crash down anywhere, and you please pray, do whatever. And this devotee said, that moment I chanted the holy name of Krishna on my beads, and that was the most attentive round that I have ever chanted in life. Right? Because calamity is coming closer. Death is coming closer. Okay, they were about to die. The flight was about to crash, for several hundreds of kilometers above the ground level. So what's going to happen, they don't know. In such a situation of uncertainty, they became more dependent on Krishna, more prayerful to Krishna, more attentive in their chanting. And somehow flight did not crash. That's why the devotee is there to share that experience. But the point is that calamities give us opportunities to become more prayerful to Krishna. Therefore, let us be grateful to Krishna, even for giving calamities. Let's not blame Krishna. Then, Bali Maharaj, you know the story, right? He became so grateful for humbling him. Bali was a great data. Data means a charitable person. And Vamanadev asked him for 3 steps of land, and Bali could not give 3 steps. Within 2 steps, Vamanadev occupied all the property of Bali Maharaj, and he said, where is my 3rd step? Okay. Then he said, because you did not give me 3 steps, I have to arrest you. And he just bound him. And our Bali Maharaj said, thank you so much, my dear Lord, for humbling me. Actually, he is not blaming the Lord for cheating him. He is thanking the Lord for humbling him. Getting right? Vamanadeva said, I want 3 steps of land. And you occupied the 3 worlds in 2 steps. And he says, you are a liar. You have to go to hell. He arrested him with Varuna Pasha. He insulted him. He humiliated him. And Bali Maharaj should complain or confront or offer Dandavat. But Bali Maharaj, he is so grateful. My dear Lord, you are so kind that you have humbled me like this. Okay. Humility born out of humiliation. So, see, Vaishnava culture is totally different from material culture. Bali Maharaj did not fight for justice. Even Brahma became overwhelmed. My dear Lord, please don't blame him so much. Why are you embarrassing him, humiliating him so much? He doesn't deserve such a treatment anymore. Please stop. Please stop humiliating him. So Brahma, the supreme personality within this universe, the creator of the universe, he became so kind and empathetic and sympathetic towards Bali Maharaj, but the Lord Vamanadeva is just humbling him like anything. Okay. So see this contrast. Bali Maharaj is not fighting for justice, but he is being grateful for the so-called injustice done to the Lord. Because behind this so-called injustice, there is Lord's kind heart. Because Bali had a tinge of pride that he is a greatly charitable person, the Lord removed that pride by proving that Bali could not keep his promise of charity. By making him so humiliated, you could not keep your promise. He said 3 steps of land so confidently. When I was asking 3 steps of land, he said, hey, you are so unintelligent. Why are you asking only 3 steps of land? You should ask 1 full planet from me. And Lord said, no. He spoke a long lecture on principles of satisfaction. And then he said, I am satisfied with 3 steps. And you occupied the 3 worlds in 2 steps and said, where is the 3rd step? That is the Lord's way of dealing. So the Lord cheated him. Transcendental cheating, divine cheating. But Bali is grateful for this treatment. See, can you be grateful for ill treatment, mistreatment given by others? But devotees are grateful to the Lord and to other devotees also. So Vasudeva is grateful to Narada Muni. You know this story? Vasudeva and Devaki were put in prison cell by Kamsa, as you know. I'll shorten the stories. We'll focus on the principles more. But to create the context, give you the context, let me tell you. Kamsa has been searching for the 8th child of Devaki desperately for so many years. Okay. As you know, Kamsa killed 6 babies of Devaki, and the 7th baby is a miscarriage. Then 8th baby happened to be a girl, apparently, and Kamsa tried to kill her, and she became Durga. And she said, okay, the Lord who is going to kill you has already appeared, and he will kill you soon. And since then, Kamsa was desperately searching, who is that 8th child? Who is that 8th child? So 10 years passed, more than 10 years passed. One day, Narada Muni goes to Kamsa and says, Kamsa, Vasudeva and Devaki cheated you. As soon as the 8th child of Devaki was born, Vasudeva picked him up and placed him in Nanda Maharaj's house secretly. He is the 8th child of Mother Devaki. Then Kamsa just picked up his sword and he was about to kill Devaki and Vasudeva. Then Narada Muni said, don't kill them. If you kill Devaki and Vasudeva, Krishna and Balaram will run away from Vrindavan. You better bring him to Mathura and kill them. After that, you can kill Devaki and Vasudeva. Then Kamsa, yes, good idea. Now see what Narada Muni is doing. If you are Vaishnava, apparently it seems that he's completely on the side of Kamsa. He's favoring Kamsa by revealing the secret of Krishna's birth, by making him very rude towards Devaki and Vasudeva. He is like acting in favor of Kamsa and acting against Vasudeva and Devaki. And again, Vasudeva Devaki went into prison. Okay. After Durga gave that announcement to Kamsa, like Kamsa released them from prison, but again he imprisoned them. Now you see this. Narada Muni was apparently acting in favor of Kamsa, but actually Vasudev thanked him. Thank you so much, Narada Muni. Because of your intervention, because you have revealed the birth secret of Krishna to Kamsa, Krishna is coming to Mathura. And Krishna will kill Mathura. And Krishna will release us from prison cell. Krishna will just protect all the Mathuravasis. See, sometimes a Vaishnava may do something which is beyond our ability to comprehend with our intelligence. A senior Vaishnava may do that. But if you maintain this principle of gratitude for what they apparently do, although it is not a very great favor apparently, then we can keep the relationship. Also, they become grateful. So the immediate inconveniences that we face because of the moods or the deeds of other Vaishnavas should not make us ungrateful to them. We should be grateful for their presence, their company. Kaviraj Goswami became very grateful for the blessings and instructions that he received from the Goswamis. And Prachetas were grateful to Lord Shiva for guiding them in their worship of Lord Vasudeva by teaching them Rudra Gita. Vayantu sakshat bhagavan bhavasya priyasya sakhyuh kshanasangavena suduschikitsasya bhavasya vrityar bhishaktamam tvadya gatim gatasma. They were standing. Okay, let me discuss this example a little later. Let me open for questions now. Any questions? We discussed about 40 minutes or so. Any questions or comments that you have at this moment before we proceed to the remaining topics? Paramatma Prabhu, we had a question in the last session, but it was beyond time. We couldn't take it.
Yes, Prabhu. I had questions last time, and it was on gratitude itself. So what I was trying to ask last time was, sometimes in the congregation, a devotee might not got cultivated or associated with some of the devotees, right? In a group of congregation, if an request goes for some service, the amount of eagerness to serve or amount of eagerness to accept the service is different when it is, oh, my Shiksha Guru told me, or my someone who has told me, who has brought me or contributed, versus someone, I don't know who is he, I mean, he may be senior, but I don't have a relation with him. In that sense, how can still continue that gratitude? Somebody did something, I have a gratitude. But somebody is sitting on a position, somebody is ordering something, but there is no relation. I might not feel obliged to. So how to get that understanding?
That's fine, right? Like naturally, you are more grateful and you are more obliged, as you said, obliged to those people who helped us in many ways. We may not feel that sense of obligation to a new person with whom we did not have much interaction or relationship. However, when the person is in an authoritative position, as you said, a manager who is coordinating a few services, and you are a member of that community, there's a sense of obligation. Although you may not have a personal relationship with that person, still, because he has the responsibility to coordinate services, and you have the responsibility to participate in the services, that should make a connection and you should contribute to the best of your ability. But if you're unable to do for some reason, you may communicate it. But our rendering of service should not be just based on how much favor I received from others. It should be based on how much is the need for doing that service. Okay, how much is the necessity for that service? Whether it is a new person speaking to me, or an old person speaking to me, or a young person speaking to me, or someone who is in a position speaking to me, it's fine. Like, the service has to be done, and you have the ability to do that service, you have the time to do that service, and being a member of a community, you have the responsibility to do that service. You can do that service, whoever tells you, right? But on a personal level, we can it's natural to have more sense of obligation, more gratitude towards some people who have with whom we have a personal relationship, much deeper relationship. We may not even stick to official tags there. Now it's an official service coming from a person who is in a position. You may officially do that service also, responsibly, of course, devotionally. But here, although you are not officially in that department, for example, still you extend yourself. Okay, this is my friend, or my senior, my Siksha Guru. He is the one who has given me Kanthimala, right? So although it is not officially, I'm not reporting to him, let me extend myself and do that service. Okay. So there's nothing wrong in doing extra service to some people who personally helped you. On a personal level, they help you. And it's wrong to not cooperate with people who are in official position, although they might not have done something personally, but they're serving the community by being in a position. They're responsible to coordinate services, and it's our responsibility to reciprocate with their requests to the best of our ability. If you're unable to do for some reason, please communicate. That's all right. Okay. Makes sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Perfectly, Prabhu. I have one other question, but I'll hold it. I don't know if anyone else has.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dhanavad Pranam. Quick question, Prabhu. This gratitude should be only for towards the devotees, or for even non-devotees also in the daily life?
Yes, of course. Gratitude it should be towards everybody. However, how much you feel a sense of obligation to people, that varies according to the kind of favor that they showed upon you. Okay, sometimes. Okay, like as I said sometime back in the class also, there may be hundreds of people who favored us in 100 different ways. You can be grateful to them. But the greatest favor that we can ever receive is inspiration and devotional service, support, guidance in spiritual life. So they deserve our maximum gratitude, right? Mahaprabhu said, right, to all his associates, we discussed that example. Mahaprabhu said, you have done bandhu kritya by bringing me to Jagannath Puri and showing me Jagannath. So naturally, we become more grateful to devotees who supported us in spiritual life, but we can also be grateful to people who are who have supported us in different ways outside the spiritual zone. Also, we can thank them. We can help them to some degree, to the best of our ability and whatever time we have. But we extend more in spiritual circles. Makes sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Any other question? Shall I continue?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Prabhu, I'm just contemplating on the last week's answer that you gave me, a little bit more clarification I was seeking. Like, I had asked a question about how these principles apply in the maybe workplace, or when we are interacting more with people who are not per se following devotional service to Krishna. Sometimes because of our nature, we do not understand how to be diplomatic in this situation or something, and we are we just go by what feels correct at that time and just be straightforward. But sometimes people might come back to you and say this and that, why did you write this email or that email or something like that, but still we feel it to be right to be just straightforward. But sometimes people teach us that no, these things don't work in corporate world and this like that. But still my heart says I want to hold on to this, that whatever feels right to me at that particular time. So is it a weakness that I don't want to learn, or it is a like conviction?
Having conviction is great.
Probably
Being,
it's related to topic, I'm just realizing now.
yeah, that's okay. Being convinced about something is great. And being straightforward and then clearly communicating what we are supposed to communicate is also great. But that conviction and straightforwardness must be accompanied with sensitivity. Okay, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. We may speak satyam, truth, with full conviction in a straightforward manner. But if it is agitating the minds of other people, then the impact of satyam is very unpleasant. So anudvegakaram means it should not agitate people. Sometimes agitation may be needed. Their acharyas also give exceptions to this principle. Sometimes a parent may have to agitate the child for the welfare of the child. Because satyam, anudvegakaram vakyam, is also accompanied by priyahitam. Priyahitam means you become a well-wisher. With a well-wishing intent, you speak the truth in a non-agitating way. That's the complete statement of Krishna. That tendency of being a well-wisher is not there. And that non-agitating tone, pleasant tone is not there. Only satyam is being communicated. That could create violence sometimes. Okay. But when well-wishing intent is there in the heart, you are communicating satyam even in an agitating tone to some people with whom you have a closer relationship, that will have a good impact. Prabhupada may chastise some of his disciples. It's not anudvegakaram vakyam, but it is satyam plus priyahitam is there. Mother may chastise the child, teacher may chastise the student, because priyahitam is default there. By default, it's there. Even udvegakaram vakyam also is acceptable. But when priyahitam is not there, just speaking satyam in an agitating tone could break the hearts of people. And one more thing, you spoke about being convinced about things. Yes, conviction is on right principles is good, but when the conviction, there is a slight, there is only little difference between conviction, straightforwardness, and being self-righteous. Whatever I think is right. Whatever I do is right. My opinion is correct. Being straightforward and speaking the truth is great, but is it really a conviction on a dharmic principle, or is there a sense of ego in me? Am I being self-righteous? Whatever I say is right, whatever I think is right. Yes. Like the conviction, in the name of conviction, we could become self-righteous sometimes. Okay, that's not very pleasant. And you have a relationship with them, close relationship with them. Now we have Sakha Gadadhar Prabhu is there in the loop here, right? He is a Vidyapit student, passed out student, and sometimes I have to chastise him, right? And I'm sure he wouldn't take it in a wrong manner, because we have a relationship since several years and we have some intimacy. Okay, so like in a relationship, when there is intimacy, you feel a sense of confidence in communication, in strong communication also, right? But when that intimacy is missing, when the relationship is missing, when that well-wishing intent is missing, that's the main thing. When the intent is not, you're not a well-wisher of that person, you're just being self-righteous, then people will take it otherwise, right? So even when the mother chastises the child and the child becomes a little upset, goes into Man Leela for a few moments, but still, child is convinced my mother loves me at the end of the day. Bitterness may be there in the interaction for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 day or 2 days maximum, if it is like really big fight. But by default, my mother is my well-wisher. My father is my well-wisher. My teacher is my well-wisher. That is there. So Udvegakaram Vakyam happens. Udvegakaram Vakyam is okay there in such circles when the intimacy levels are high. But intimacy is not there. You are speaking the truth in a very agitating manner that could break the hearts of people, right? So it's not about being diplomatic, it's being about sensitive. Let's be sensitive to others' emotions. Let's convey the truth with a well-wishing intent in a non-agitating tone. This is my little understanding based on whatever I understood from the question. Does it make sense, Mataji?
Absolutely, Prabhu. It helps very much. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. We'll continue with gratitude now. Thank you. So Prachetas, we're discussing about the example of Prachetas, right? So Prachetas are very great devotees and they were guided by Lord Shiva. And Shiva taught them Rudra Gita 10,000 years back. But for 10,000 years, they were just happily chanting Rudra Gita, and Lord Vishnu came in front of them to give darshan, and the Prachetas were offering prayers to the Lord. In their prayers, they were thanking Shiva. Can you imagine? You're standing in front of the Lord and you're thanking another devotee of the Lord. That pleases the Lord's heart. Don't use people as mediums through which you contact higher people. For example, there is one devotee who helped you in connecting with a senior devotee, a Guru Maharaj, or someone who is very great. Now you have made a connection, you have established a connection with the main person. But the person who has connected you to that main person deserves your gratitude. You need to be grateful. If you sideline, okay, I will use this person to contact that person. Once I get that contact of the person, I'll discard this fellow. Getting right? Sometimes this kind of moods may come, right? That's like using people. You are using people and loving privileges. But I'm not focusing on the privilege that I receive by my contact with this person, but I'm happy to be connected to this person, and I'm grateful for whatever love, affection that he showed upon me. So the Lord Shiva voluntarily appeared in front of the Prachetas and offered them and gave them Rudra Gita teachings. Then Prachetas did not forget it even after 10,000 years. Okay, they remembered. And similarly, we have who is that? Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj went in front of Narasimhadev. See, his devotional service have become fruitful. The Lord has given him darshan. But Prahlad went in front of Narasimhadev and said, I am very grateful to Narada Muni. Only because of Narada Muni's guidance today I am able to see you, my Lord. I want to serve him. Okay, so we need to be grateful to those people who connect us to the Lord, who connect us to Guru, who connect us to the deities, who connect us to great privileges. If we cannot acknowledge them for their favors, then we are ungrateful, and that's very unpleasant. Okay, so let's continue. So gratitude leads to humility and lack of greed for credit, which I already discussed some time back. And gratitude is not only for the service received, but also for the opportunity to serve. Okay, so this is another. And Queens of Dwaraka, you remember in the place called Kurukshetra, there was a big meeting between Draupadi and all the queens of Krishna. Okay, so Draupadi asked, how did you marry Krishna? Or how Krishna married you? Whatever may be the right way of putting it. So how did Krishna marry you? Then Rukmini started speaking. Oh, my brother Rukmi was trying to forcefully offer me to Shishupal as a wife, but I wrote a love letter to Krishna, and then Krishna came with great kindness, and then he kidnapped me and married me. Same thing, Satyabhama had her story, Jambavati had her story. Like that, all the queens were speaking their stories of coming in contact with Krishna. And every single queen is saying that I am very grateful to become a wife of Krishna, to get an opportunity to serve Krishna. All I want is to become a maid servant of my beloved Lord Krishna. The queens of Krishna are very grateful. being made servants of Krishna. Okay, I already mentioned this. Our Prahlad is very grateful to Narasimhadev. Prahlad is very grateful to our Narada Muni for getting Prahlad an opportunity to meet Narasimhadev. Okay, so here he is saying, Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamabhikama manuyah prapatan prasangat कृत्वात्मसात् सुदर्शिना भगवन् गृहीतः सोहम कथम न विसृजे तव भृत्य सेवाम. So कृत्वात्मसात् सुदर्शिना, that Surarshi, Devarshi, Narada brought me in touch with you. How can I give up service to him? I want to serve him. So gratitude leads to dedication. You will be able to serve the Lord and his devotees with full dedication, provided you have a fuel of gratitude. When the fuel of gratitude is there, then there is dedication. Without gratitude, dedication becomes very difficult. You become spaced out. When there is no sufficient gratitude, you don't feel sufficient inspiration to serve others, to commit to service to others, right? So gratitude is the fuel. Next. Expression and action follow the emotion. Emotion of gratitude becomes an expression of thank you and action of service, right? Service is action, expression is verbal, and emotion is internal. So then Akrura was grateful even to Kamsa. Sometimes we may get privileged opportunities to see Krishna or serve Krishna through demoniac people also. Kamsopatadya kritametyanugraham drakshengri padmam prahito munaharehe. So Akrura felt that it is only because of Kamsa that I am getting this opportunity to see Krishna, to meet Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. So let me thank Kamsa. And Batu, Batu, Madhumangal. So Krishna lifted this Govardhan mountain, and Mother Yashoda was feeling so anxious about Krishna. Krishna, why do you do all mischievous activities all the time? What's happening? I'm unable to see you holding such a huge mountain on your little finger. You're getting tired. Why did you stop Indra Puja? Then Madhumangal said, my dear mother, because Krishna stopped Indra Puja, Indra became angry. Because Indra became angry, we are now able to see Krishna holding Govardhan. We are able to see Krishna Swami's Giridhari. Such a beautiful darshan we got today, only because of the anger of Indra. So therefore Indra has to become angry. So even in a very terrible, tense, miserable situation, when we have the right perspective, we can be grateful. When we have the right consciousness, we can feel the gratitude. Krishna, this calamity is giving me this opportunity to connect with you. And Bhagavatam is filled with examples of devotees who are speaking Bhagavatam and hearing Bhagavatam. And the speakers are grateful to hearers, and hearers are grateful to speakers. Parikshit is grateful to Sukadeva Goswami for teaching Bhagavatam. And Sukadeva Goswami is grateful to Parikshit for asking wonderful questions that make him speak Bhagavatam. And Parikshit is grateful to Pandavas also. You know what Parikshit was thinking? As soon as Sukadeva Goswami came, he said, Krishna is very kind to me. I thank Krishna. And because Krishna loves Pandavas so much, and I am connected to Pandavas somehow, Krishna arranged this meeting between you and me. So Parikshit, in one shot, in one statement, he expressed gratitude to three parties. I am grateful to Krishna, I am grateful to Pandavas, I am grateful to Sukadeva Goswami. He's not taking credit. Yes, I deserve a teacher like Sukadeva Goswami. Okay, sometimes students are not in a student mood. Students are in the mood of what to say, maintainers of teachers. I pay you, you teach me. Okay, so especially in material circles, tuition teacher, why did you come late? Am I not paying you salary? You see, guru's position is not like a business person. So students must be in student mood, isn't it? So here, Parikshit Maharaj is being grateful to Pandavas first. Why? Pandavas have profuse affection from Krishna, and because he is connected to Pandavas, Parikshit is connected to Pandavas, Krishna did some favor to Parikshit Maharaj. What is that favor? At the fag end of his life, not in terms of old age, but when he had only 7 days to live, he arranged Sukadeva Goswami to speak Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, so this is the loop. He's grateful to Parikshit, he's grateful to Pandavas, he's grateful to Krishna, he's grateful to Sukadeva Goswami. In such a mood of gratitude, knowledge will enter, wisdom will enter, realizations will come. But when gratitude is not there, when we are hearing Bhagavatam, no realizations and no absorption, there is only fault finding. Okay, so this is what is being exemplified by Parikshit. Same thing, Vidura is hearing from Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni is speaking Bhagavatam, and he is extremely grateful. Vidura is extremely grateful to Maitreya Muni. I have heard too much of Mahabharata. I'm tired. So thank you so much for speaking me Bhagavatam. And Maitreya Muni became very grateful to Vidura. Vidura, you are asking such wonderful questions. Every question that you are asking is like a flower. You are asking a question, while asking that question, you are giving me a flower. And I'm taking that flower and putting in the garland. What is this garland? This is Kirti Mala, garland of glories of Krishna. He asks a question, and that triggers a topic. And Maitreya Muni is supposed to speak on the topic. That's a glorification of Krishna. So the more devotees ask questions, the more speaker addresses varieties of topics connected to Krishna. Thus, at the end of the session, we have a garland of glories of Krishna. That is called Kirti Mala, technically. So we are making Kirti Mala. So Maitreya Muni is grateful to Vidura for hearing Bhagavatam and asking questions, and Vidura is grateful to Maitreya Muni for answering the questions. So this is the gratitude. Same thing with Sutta Goswami and Naimisharanya sages. Okay, a grateful person is empowered, but an ungrateful person is not empowered. Empowerment comes by gratitude. And we need to be grateful not only to seniors who teach us, but also to juniors who help us in various ways and who ask questions to make us Krishna conscious, and also towards equals for their inspiration. We should be grateful for all the spiritual contributions that different people are giving us in our spiritual life. And in all circumstances, whether it is success or failure or victory or defeat or happiness or distress, let us try to be grateful to Krishna. So let's see how Prabhupada is grateful. Please hear this small clip.
This way, gradually, I became attached to these Gaudiya Mount activities, and by the grace of Krishna, my business also was not going very well. Krishna says, Jasahon Nigrindami Hariseta Dhanam Sani. If somebody wants to be actually devotee of Krishna, at the same time keeps his material attachment, then Krishna's business is he takes away everything material, so that same person he becomes, dependent on Krishna. So that actually happened to my life. I was obliged to come to this movement to take up this very seriously. And I was dreaming that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is calling me. Please come out with me. So I was sometimes horrified. Oh, what is this? I have to give up my family life. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is calling me. I have to take sannyas. Oh, I was horrified. But I saw several times calling me. So anyway, it is by his grace I was forced to give up my family life and so-called business life. And he brought me somewhere or other in preaching his gospel. So this is a memorable day. What he deserved. I am trying a little bit, and you are all helping me. So I have to thank you more. You are actually representative of my Guru Maharaj. Because you are helping me in executing the order of my Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
So in this short clip, we have seen the heartfelt gratitude of Srila Prabhupada. Initially, he was speaking in a very jolly tone that Yasyaham anugrahanami harishyeta dhanam shanaihi. When the Lord takes away all your wealth, he forcefully makes you surrender to him. He's very blissful. He's not saying that the Lord has taken away all my money and failure in business he gave and family relationships were not so exciting. He was not complaining. He was not blaming. He's being grateful for that experience. And later he went on saying that in just around 2.5 minutes clip, he went on saying that my Guru Maharaj was pushing me to take sannyas. He said, I was horrified. How can I take sannyas? How can I give up my family and business? Okay. But by his grace, he forced me to take sannyas. Can he force anyone to take sannyas? But Prabhupada is grateful for that force. Okay. When our consciousness is pure, we are grateful even for the push or force that we receive. As Kali Yuga progresses, force doesn't work, push doesn't work. But in the tradition, even the force from a spiritually elevated person is accepted gratefully and sincerely. And after accepting that, Prabhupada struggled. He gave up family, he took sannyas, and he was struggling for even food. And he was walking in Delhi. In Delhi, he was walking, right? And he just fainted. And he was just dealing with that printer. He did not have breakfast also. Okay. He would walk because he doesn't have money to pay to the rickshaw person. So the printer will arrange breakfast for the Swamiji. So in this way, Prabhupada underwent a lot of difficulties alone, struggling to even survive for food and medicines, etc. But Prabhupada is grateful for all these experiences. And finally, when he became successful in his endeavors to establish a worldwide movement, he got so many followers. Still, he's saying, whatever is happening is by the grace of my spiritual master. And you are all my representatives of spiritual master because you are helping me to execute the will of my spiritual master, my Guru Maharaj. Can you imagine the amount of gratitude he has? Especially when we follow someone's advice or someone's instruction and we attain failure in that instruction, failure in that endeavor, we lose faith in the person. We get frustrated. We start blaming and complaining and criticizing. But being grateful for receiving instructions, despite executing the instructions, ending up in failures, is something only Prabhupada can do. Okay. So, but ultimately he becomes successful because of that right consciousness, because of that mood of gratitude. So we can learn this principle of gratitude from Prabhupada. And Mahaprabhu was grateful to that Brahmana who cursed him, may you not have any material happiness. So we can be grateful in all circumstances when we see Krishna's hand in all times. That's why Bhagavatam is Tapatrayonmulanam. When we hear Bhagavatam, we can be grateful. Bhagavatam is called Tapatrayonmulanam. That does not mean Bhagavatam removes Tapatrayas. Bhagavatam will equip our consciousness with the necessary maturity to see misery as mercy of Krishna. When we are grateful at heart, we don't see tapa as tapa, we see tapa as kripa. Tapa is tapatraya, the three types of miseries. But that misery will become mercy when we have the right consciousness. And gratitude is a very, very prominent aspect of that right consciousness. Okay. So now even materially also, now there are some cataract operations, right? Barsana eye camp and many other eye camps. So when that cataract is removed, when people are able to see clearly, they become very grateful to doctors. So that cataract is removed and things are visible nicely. And people who are treated, they say, my dear doctor, thank you so much. I'm able to see things clearly. If you can be grateful to someone for giving you material vision, how much you should be grateful to someone who has given you spiritual vision. Devotees give us spiritual vision. Bhagavatam gives us spiritual vision. Guru gives us spiritual vision. Krishna gives us spiritual vision. Okay. So we need to be grateful to them. Unlimited gratitude. Okay. So Chakshudana Dilai Janma Janma Prabhu say. So it's an unrepayable debt. The debt that we owe to our acharyas who have given us spiritual vision by writing so many books, that can never be repaid. Yeire drishi bhagavato gatiratmavada ekantato nigamabhik pratipaditanaha tushyantvad karunaha swakritena nityam ko nama tat pratikaroti vinodapatram. We can never repay for what we owe to our great acharyas. If we think we can repay them, if we think we are not obliged to them, then we are being vinoda patram, jokers. Okay. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Jana Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam. Let me not discuss the full shloka, but main point is Bhurida Jana. Bhuri means compassion. So one who has compassion, an acharya who has compassion will spread Hari Katha, he will spread Krishna Katha all over the planet. So we need to be grateful to all those acharyas. They are the most benevolent benefactors of the entire humanity. So one other aspect is, if we remember our past fallen situation, then we can be grateful for our current situation. And we can be grateful to all the people who brought us to this situation. Okay. If we don't value what we receive, we will lose it. We will lose what we receive. So earlier, I am so fallen like this. Okay, I don't have any spiritual knowledge or inspiration or practices. Now, by the inspiration of 100 different devotees, I am here. Not there, but at least I have given up some bad habits and certain. I have developed little spiritual inclinations. I could read Gita, Bhagavatam, this and that. I could chant the holy names of the Lord. So spiritually, there is an improvement in you. So we need to remember our past fallen situation and compare it with our current improved situation, then we can be grateful to all the people who brought us to this level. That's why remembering one's past fallen situation is very important for us to be grateful. Okay, so we should never forget our past fallen situation. We know we may not become fallen, we may not repeat those mistakes again, but we can remember our past situation so that we can be more and more grateful. So Srimati Radharani is the greatest worshipper of Krishna, and she's always grateful to Krishna for giving her an opportunity to serve him. So we can learn this principle of gratitude from all these divine examples and shlokas and scriptures, and try to cultivate this mode of gratitude. And I'm very grateful to all of you for giving me an opportunity to meditate on these principles of gratitude by your enthusiastic hearing and participation in this short course. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Prabhu Chaitanya Kishore, maybe you have a question.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. I'm really grateful for your class. Quick question I had is, you mentioned in before, while you were answering other question, that gratefulness, we have more gratefulness to devotees who have connected us to Krishna, right? Now, when we go into our practical field of work, sometimes you see here in US, every single thing you do, people start thanking you and you thank them. It looks like, there's a lot more gratefulness than we see in the temple. And so, at one point, and if there is some, like disagreement going in the temple, we start saying, hey, the material world, there is so much of gratefulness and we don't have it here. So it's not true, but this is what the mind plays tricks with. So there is always a chance of diverting in that case. So how do we balance this? What do we think at that time when such a situation arises?
1 second. So this is a important question, very important question. This requires at least 10-15 minutes of explanation. I'll begin the
Next class. Yeah.
Question. They begin the next session with this. In essence, your question is, we see Vaishnava qualities in outside people more than devotees. Okay. How do we digest it?
Correct.
So we'll definitely discuss this very important topic. Thank you. Well, next, I will spend more time. Not in a haste. I will not give a short answer. That's a part of the course also.
Sounds good. No problem.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just deliberating upon the point here, Srila Prabhupada being such an exalted devotee, and he is grateful for what he has lost. We also heard about Kunti Maharani. She is grateful for the calamities, miserable situations they have undergone. And in the last class also, we heard that when Krishna do not reciprocate with the devotees, one of the reasons is to increase our hankering for him. And so that they will hanker for him more and more and more. And so that they get the taste. So the question is, not all the devotees are at that level to appreciate that calamities and the situations. What if in the beginning stage one may think, oh, your God seems to be a sadist, enjoying our painful situation. How do we, a situation may come to anyone. Now, if somebody comes and asks, it is hard to tell him or her or any situation. And how do we understand, and how even a beginner can understand that very point, not misunderstanding that this God is enjoying our torture, and then he will, at the end, he will put an entry as a hero at the end of the cinema kind of thing, So people ask that. So just thought of understanding from you, Prabhu. If you feel you can answer next week, but
Again, it's a very long discussion, but still let me give a short discussion now. When you eat mirchi, Nelam Galatha Shrudha, wisely and you cannot handle it and then you're crying tears, then someone gives you a sweet, okay, gives you a gulab jamun. It's such a relieving experience after eating such hot mirchi, you're eating something sweet. It's so nice. Similarly, when devotees undergo difficulties and the Lord comes and relieves us from the difficulties, the special bliss that we experience by that personal touch of the Lord is unparalleled. So instead of seeing this as sadism of Krishna, if you see it from a rasic perspective, Krishna is the supreme controller. He can even create a situation for devotees where they are constantly happy, there is no difficulty only. Why would he arrange and sanction difficulties for devotees? And as a hero, as you said, he comes at the end and relieves them from difficulties just to prove that I am hero. Okay? Yeah, this announcement is for Janta. For normal people, the Lord will relieve you from difficulties. That's a message for them. But for devotees, it's rasa. Right? Constant series of happy moments may not give so much pleasure as much as we have a little distress and then little happiness. Little distress, little happiness. Can you take a full only rabdi for your entire meal? Rabdi is so sweet, so nourishing, so tasty. But you can't take entire rabdi for a meal, right? You can't take only gulab jamuns in your meal, 10 gulab jamuns. They're expensive also. But you need rice, you need chapati, you need dal, you need this, you need that. Similarly, when our life also is, I'm telling about pure devotees. Pure devotees' lives also are filled with ups and downs and successes and failures. In that, there is some kind of speciality. Even in spiritual world also, it's not there is constant happiness. Okay, there is constant happiness, on an absolute platform. But there is distress of separation also. Love between the Lord and devotees is experienced in two moods: the joy of union and the pain of separation. Both are there. So the Lord agitates the mind of Srimati Radharani also by not being present in front of her. Even in the spiritual world, she becomes upset with him there also. Why? Like a hero, then he comes and gives darshan. Radharani becomes very happy, right? After long separation. Because after an episode of separation, union becomes much sweeter. They're constantly being, not that they get bored when they're together, but when they are not together for a while and suddenly when Krishna comes in front of them, that experience is totally different. Getting right? So that is rasa. That's an exchange of rasa more than sadism of Krishna, right? So he also feels there is a pleasure in missing someone. Being with someone definitely gives pleasure, but there is also a pleasure in missing somebody. You remember that person more, the love and affection for that person increases. And after that situation of separation, suddenly you meet that person, that all the feelings of separation you had for that person culminated in a meeting with that person that will enhance the sweetness of meeting. This is life, okay? This we can experience a glimpse of it even in our material interactions also, and it's all the more true in spiritual interactions. In material world, distress is distress, happiness is also distress. But in the spiritual realm, happiness is happiness, distress is also happiness. Because that is spiritual, this is material. Okay. So when the Lord puts his devotees into difficulties and he himself comes to relieve them from difficulties, that's an experience of rasa, more than expression of sadism from Krishna's part. Makes sense, Prabhu? There is a lot to discuss, but because of lack of time, we will cut short. But again, if you remind me this question, I'll give multiple perspectives in the next session. Okay. Chaitanya Kishore Prabhu's thing, and both questions are very, very important topics.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhu, I can ask in the next class also, Prabhu. It's 9:05. If Prabhu, you need to go, please let. So if that is okay, I can ask, but if you need to go.
I'm okay, Mataji. I said to other devotees, we'll do it in next class because they require a lot of explanation. Depending on your question. If it's a quick question, we'll answer now itself.
Okay, Prabhu. So I'm like kind of in one question seeking like clarification in two directions, Prabhu. Probably maybe it will just culminate into one also. So like the mode of goodness may become an obstacle in being grateful, Prabhu, because goodness like brings pride. That's what we learn in Bhagavad Gita as well. And sometimes I feel that in my life also, that's because of the bringing up in this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, that kind of bringing up might make us, like as you pointed out, self-righteous, that also is striking like that, yes, this could be going into that direction. And for that matter, this goodness, just being in the mode of goodness can, steal away the rasa part also, because most of the time we are doing something because it is good for us and it is ought to be done. So it just stays there. So I'm just...
The mode of goodness actually is conducive to spiritual practice. Okay, we need to come to mode of goodness, and from there we can come to spiritual platform. Okay, mode of goodness is great, but one should not remain in mode of goodness. One should not remain in just being in sattva guna. We have to transcend guna. Traigunya vishayaveda nistraigunya bhavarjuna, Krishna says. So mode of goodness sets a right platform or the runway for the spiritual airplane to take off. Okay. At the same time, we may not remain in the runway only. We should take off. Okay.
So that's where I'm finding the obstacle, that for how to now like cultivating gratitude. We understand that it needs to be there. We also want it to be there, but how to have it, how to cultivate it.
Yeah, I mentioned, right? One tip that we can take is at the end of the day, last 2 minutes of the day, 5 minutes of the day, just recollect the day's events and recollect all the names of the devotees who have helped you in some way to make your day successful.
Yeah,
okay.
Actually, I had been doing that for last whole year and this year also. But what I'm asking is like that, that softness of heart, that just melting of heart, like just seeing our Guru Maharaj. I mean, they are just like emblem of purity. I mean, they are carrying Krishna Katha to us all the time, like you are mentioning everything. They are always connecting us to Krishna. So how much grateful we can be. I'm only understanding when you are explaining this, but I felt that it's not there. It's just writing is again just in the mode of goodness.
The beginning of, the beginning of having it in the heart is asking like this or desiring like this. Okay. So it's not there, and recognizing that it's not there. But I would say by reading the stories, the pastimes of great devotees within Bhagavatam, we discussed several examples today. Mahaprabhu's example and Kunti Maharani's example, Dhruva's example, so many examples we discussed, right? By reading all those episodes of Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavatam, where the principle of gratitude is emphasized and demonstrated, our heart automatically becomes soft. Over a period of time, it may take a while, but by constantly hearing, reading, speaking, and discussing the character of grateful devotees, we can also cultivate this quality of gratitude. And another effective tool, for which I cannot give a logical reason, but it helps. That is sincerely chanting the holy names of Krishna will give us these qualities. By sincerely chanting Hare Krishna, our heart will become soft, and the qualities of gratitude, humility, satisfaction will manifest in the heart. So all these qualities we discussed today. Prominently gratitude we discussed, but we also discussed about satisfaction, humility, and all. All these qualities will manifest by chanting.
Thank you very much. This helps.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Next week we'll meet. Hare.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. We are all.
One more thing, Prabhu. I forgot. We need to have a small exercises and assignments, right? So now that 3 sessions are over, and in these 3 sessions, first session we discussed mainly about the overall importance of cultivating these Vaishnava qualities, and 2 sessions we focused primarily on gratitude with few other points and other qualities. So you can write 2 essays. One essay on the importance of cultivating Vaishnava qualities along with doing our basic sadhana of hearing, chanting. Then one essay on the principle of gratitude, and that essay topic you can decide. It could be under the umbrella of gratitude, but it could describe a personal life experience where you became grateful to someone, okay, or it could be an analysis of the whole principle of gratitude, or it could be a description of the principle of gratitude as mentioned in the scriptures. Three options. Okay, one is your personal life experience about gratitude. Second is discussion on the concept or the principle itself. Third is taking an example of a character and then analyzing that character. Okay, so you can write these 2 essays. Take your time and then submit to our Sakha Gadadhar Prabhu. You can send an email to him. You can mark a CC also to me. I will check some essays he will check. So it's like we'll have a combination. Okay. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, just a quick before you leave, Prabhu. So first question is importance of cultivating Vaishnava culture along with our sadhana. Is that what?
Correct. First question.
Yes.
Second, an essay on gratitude. Anything that you can decide.
Sorry, what is that you said? First word? What is the second one you said, Prabhu?
Gratitude. An essay on gratitude.
Oh, essay on
gratitude. 3 directions in which that essay can be written, but you can decide whichever direction you want to take it. And that essay need not be so long. It can be concise, maybe maximum 1000 words. Okay, at least 500 words, not so small. At least 500 words, maximum 1000 words.
Okay.
And the essay comes up well, we can even publish it in Bhagavad Pradipika also. Okay, if it comes up well, if you do it in a, of course, all of you can write well and express, but publishing an article requires certain appeal. Okay, although you have all the content, the presentation also matters. So, but anyways, don't focus on the article. You just write an essay. If it is good, you can even send to BTG also, international BTG also, or local BTG also, or we can even publish in our debut magazine also, wherever. But the main point is meditation on this quality. We have been discussing for last 3 sessions, 4.5 hours. So let's meditate on it, reflect on it. When you write things, then understanding becomes more and more clear. Okay, we can take out some time to write. Proper emphasis on writing a lot. Okay, Prabhu, thank you so much.
I will take your email ID and Sakha Gadadhar Prabhu's email ID. Then
he has everything.
Okay,
thank you.
And we are also grateful to you for your time and everything for helping us on this program. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Hare Krishna.
Hare